Here we go, fam. Day 4, Unit 7. We are going to do some problems like we did yesterday. I'm going to go through as many odds as I can in about 10 minutes, and your job is to finish the rest, okay? Remember what we talked about yesterday. You're only allowed to combine like terms. 3a plus 2a, that makes 5a. Also, if the radicals are the exact same, you can combine them just like that. So keep that idea in mind. Although it's not a's, it's not x's, they're going to be radicals. But, so this is not the same radical as this one. 32 and 50 are different. So let's try and break them down and see if we can get them to be the same. 32 is 8 and 4. 8 is 4 and 2. And 4 is 2 and 2. And the 4 breaks down one more time. So remember, this is just a regular normal radical. There's a little imaginary 2 here, so I'm circling groups of 2. 1 and 2. That gets multiplied by 3, and that gets multiplied by 3, and this 2 stays inside. It has to stay in jail. It doesn't have anybody to break out with. So the 3 that's already here gets multiplied by this 2 and this 2. So 2 times 2 is 4 times 3 is 12. And then remember, this guy that didn't get circled has to stay in. I'm going to bring down the plus sign, and I'm going to break down the 50. 50 is 25 and 2. Yes, you could also use 5 and 10 and just keep breaking it down. You'll get the same answer either way. 25 is 5 and 5. All right, cool. I found a group of 2. That comes out and gets multiplied by the 2 that's already there, and that 2 doesn't have a partner, so it has to stay in jail. So how am I going to write this answer? The 2 gets multiplied by the 5 that broke out of jail. 2 times 5 is 10. What number has to stay in? This guy that didn't get circled has to stay in jail. And now look, these are like terms. This is a radical 2 and this is a radical 2. So I can combine 12 and 10, which makes 22, and just keep the radical the exact same. There's our final answer. Let me try number 3. 40. First thing I think of is 4 and 10. 4 is 2 and 2, and 10 is 2 and 5. Okay, so I found a group of 2. That gets out. 7 times 2 is 14. And these two numbers that didn't get circled, they have to stay in. And yes, they stay multiplied together. 2 times 5 is 10. Keep the plus sign, and now I'm going to break down the 90. 90 is 9 and 10. 9 is 3 and 3, and 10 is 2 and 5. Found a group of 3. That gets to break out of jail, and there's no number here already, so it doesn't have to multiply anything, so the 3 just stays out. And this 2 and this 5 that didn't get circled have to stay in as 10. And now again, hey look, they're like terms. 14 plus 3 makes 17. Radical 10. Cool. Let's try another one, number 5. So number 5 has 3 things to it. There's a radical 7, which doesn't break down. And this is a radical 7, which also doesn't break down. So I bet I'll be able to combine those. Remember, there's like a 1 here. So 1 radical 7 minus 8 radical 7, I can combine those, but I wonder if this one will combine also, because I know 63 breaks down. It's 9 and 7. 9 is 3 and 3. Found a group of 2. That busts out of jail. 3 times 4 is 12. This number that didn't get circled, this 7, has to stay in jail, so it has to go here. Now I'm going to bring down the negative 8 radical 7, and I'm going to bring down the 1 radical 7. You don't really need the 1, but if you want it, you can put it there. And now look, all 3 of these are the same kinds of radicals. So 1 plus 12 is 13, and then when you minus 8, you get 5. And they're all radical 7s. There we go. Let's do one of these that has a 3 in it. Because remember, the only thing that changes, this 3 right here, it just tells you you're looking for groups of 3 instead of groups of 2. 81 is 9 times 9. This is 3 and 3, and this is 3 and 3. And look, I found a group of 3. And I'm circling groups of 3 because there's a 3 here. So that gets to come out. So I have a 3 on the outside. Keep the radical the exact same, and this 3 has to stay in. This one that didn't get circled has to stay inside. I'm going to bring down this minus sign. And this doesn't break down anymore. 3 is just 3 times 1, so I'm actually going to bring this whole thing down here. So I get 10 cube root of 3. And look, they're the same exact kind of radical. So I can do 3 and -10, which makes -7, and the cubed root of 3. There's our answer. We are just combining like terms, you guys. How about number 9? Sorry if I'm going too fast. Hey, pause if you need to. Rewind if you need to. I'm not trying to make some long-ass video, okay? Let's see. 4 and 3. 2 and 2. Found a group of 2. Wait, why am I doing groups of 2 and not groups of 3? This 3 is in front. It's not one of those little 3s that's right here. So be careful. We're just looking at normal square roots here, so groups of 2. The 2 comes out. 2 times 3 is 6. What number has to stay in? This 3. Now let's break down the 75. 75 is 25 and 3. There are other combos that you could use and still get the same answer. But 25 breaks into 5 and 5. That gets multiplied by the 7. 7 times 5 is 35. What number has to stay in? This one. I'm going to bring down this minus sign. Let's break down the 54 now. 54 is 9 and 6. 9 is 3 and 3, and 6 is 3 and 2. Found a group of 2. That gets out. So I have a 3 in front. Square root of this number and this number did not get circled. Neither of these guys have partners to break out of jail with, so 3 times 2 is 6. Now let's see if we have any like terms. There's one and there's one. This is different. This is kind of like this is x, this is x, this is y. This is a different radical, so I cannot combine this with these other two. But 6 plus 35 makes 41, radical 3, and then just keep the 3, radical 6 at the end. Those are not equal or not like terms, so it's kind of like having 41x minus 3y. They're different. This is different from this, so we cannot combine those. Same thing. This is different from this. We cannot combine those. This is our final answer. Let me try and get one more in. Let's see. Number 11. Here we go. 10 radical 3. This does not break down. I bet this one does. 54. 54 is 9 and 6. 3 and 3. 3 and 2. Looking for groups of 2. This is just a normal square root, so looking for groups of 2. 3 comes out and multiplies by the 2, which makes 6. This number and this number have to stay in, so root 6. I can go ahead and bring this down, I guess, if I want to. 10 radical 3 plus. Now let's break down this 75. 25 and 3. 5 and 5. Found a group of 2. That busts out and multiplies by the 2 that's already there, and it's negative. This sign stays. 5 times 2 is 10. See the number that didn't get circled? This one. 3. Now let's see if I have any like terms. This one and this one. Oh, positive 10 root 3 and negative 10 root 3. Those cancel and give you 0 root 3. You don't even need to write that. So I think this final answer is 6 root 6. And if you're wondering, remember 6 doesn't break down. It's just 2 and 3. So there aren't any groups of 3 in there. So you just leave it like 6 root 6. Okay. That's what we learned yesterday, you guys. Just keep working on this and I'll be walking around answering your questions. Okay. Love you all.